Our boy Rudy has been kidnapped. He has been taken under the misconception and kind of everything that happened with all the smuggler stuff. Our boy Rudy has been taken away, and he's being taken down to a beast village. So talk about being separated completely from Eris and from Ruijerd. Now, there is one striking thing that really calls out to me, and I'm hoping... I kind of feel, I don't even have to hope. I am 99% sure the anime is going to go this way. But the dude who came in and came into Rudy as he was, messing around with the dog and being playful and everything, the dude who came in looks like 𝐜𝐿ain. So I can almost guarantee you this is 𝐜𝐿ain's brother or cousin or something, and the village they're going to is where 𝐜𝐿ain originally came from. Like, I am almost completely positive that this will be the truth, but he looks just like he's related to 𝐜𝐿ain. So that is where I think this is going, is that, after Rudy can actually get his voice back, because, that guy he screamed and just completely just like he basically just shut Rudy's brain off and wasn't able to communicate whatsoever. He just paralyzed the crap out of him by just screaming. I now think that as Rudy gets there, he'll explain kind of like, hey, I was the one who helped, save the other beast children. I was the one who helped save the dog, the sacred beast. I was the one who helped save the dog. I know 𝐜𝐿ain, the Sword King, whatever. I think that'll be his saving grace. But I'm so ecstatic and excited to get into next week's episode now. I said it during our reaction video, but I'll say it here again. The amount of things that they're packing within these 20 to 23-minute episodes is just, insane. It makes you hungry for more, but it's just... I think Jobless is just one of the most, perfectly directed animes of this year, for sure. To me, I feel like, there was 2 animes so far that have struck me in the last, year or so. Re:Zero and Jobless. And these are the 2 that I feel like they've really... pack everything so tightly into these episodes that it makes you really want to see what happens next, but you also feel pretty good that, hey, within this 20 or so minute runtime, you got a lot packed in there. And that's what I really feel after every single episode. Now, of course, make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you guys like. Let's talk about the episode in total. So the episode was very focused around misconnections, right? And we finally got what I wanted out of this episode, which was Roxy's point of view on what happened, on what's happening on her end. And the first, maybe half to 2/3 of the episode was really focused on Roxy and really kind of setting us in the perspective of what Roxy has been doing. Is ever since she found the town board, she found, Paul's family missing. They're looking for Paul, for Aisha, for Lilia, for Zenith, for Rudy. They're looking for them, right? And they have made their way to this port town to try and gather more info on if they've seen any of these individuals. And they've all kind of come together as, 2 of Paul's prior adventurer buddies. And then you have Roxy, who's really what's driving her is her connection to Paul and Zenith and them, but really to Rudy, and she wants to help Rudy's family out, and that's really what's driving her. So in the episode, it kind of shows us all the different misconnections, quote unquote, that she didn't have last week with her, doing investigations, finding out that there is, ever since this mana blast happened, that there's been adventurers that have taken the name Dead End, and they have been very popularized. They have the guard dog Ruijerd, they have the mad dog Eris. So, they have all this. So she goes out to investigate that, and that's kind of where we finally get to where we were last week, with her running into Eris and Ruijerd as they were training, her running away, being extremely scared that, that there were superds, and she runs away in fear. As she's running away, we get a glimpse of last week's episode where Rudy was going down the alley, and she runs and just barely missing him every single time. We also saw the dwarf do his investigation, and we saw the elf. She's a freak. we saw her getting it on, which I thought was an hilarious little tidbit for last week's episode. Because when Rudy was making his way down the alley last week, he heard people getting it on. He's like, ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Little did we know that was gonna be the elf girl, really just like having like a 9-way or whatever she was having. I think Roxy ended up saying there was 5 of them, so a 6-way. And she's a freak, like she's a freak-a-leak. And I love how in that one scene during this episode, Roxy made her way back to the room and she witnessed that, and she was just like mortified at it. And she used her magic and blew them all away. And I thought that was effing hilarious as well. Then it kind of picks up of their picking up their adventure, and then they begin exploring more of the demon continent. And this shows Roxy and them exploring more of the demon continent. And I love how the dwarfs and the elves view of Paul as scum, but yet they still have something, there's still something there that they really like him to go and give their all for them. Then we flash forward to the next part of the episode, which was all focused around, okay, well, now Ruijerd's been smuggled. And Rudy had his moment with Eris, traveling the normal way during the normal ship. And he had to hold himself, he had to hold some of his urges back. But, he had this fantasy that him and Eris would get castawayed and they would make love and they would do all this. And he would wake up with a cup of coffee, which I thought was a freaking ass hilarious scene. But it all got whisked away. And really, Eris was seasick the whole entire time. But she was still looking yummy to him. And he had to hold himself back. But I love the conversations that they have now, that he's having with Eris now, of Eris was like, well, next time I'll let you touch me a little bit. He's like, no. I had to hold myself back so much. You ain't gonna let me touch. Like, you gonna let me know. Ring me up when you're ready to get like all messed up. That's when I'll be there, because I can't anymore. And I love the conversations that they've been having with each other now as they've been growing deeper and deeper, closer together. I just find that very amusing and interesting. Then he goes and gets Ruijerd. Ruijerd has a thing to where he's been stewing the whole entire time, and there's children who the smugglers have smuggled in. There is fantastical beast and all kinds of things, and they end up setting all of them free because Ruijerd was just like, he wants to just destroy all these dudes, and they do. Rudy goes back, and it's all come full circle where I started the review at, where Rudy goes back to save the dog, and he ends up getting captured. Overall, though, I mean, these episodes are amazing. Last week's episode, I thought was like, oh my god, what a beautiful episode. This week continues that. I think that the delay really helped them catapult this anime to the next level. It's been such a pleasure to watch every single week. I love all the detail that they pack in on these episodes. And I am extremely interested on next week's episode as we move into what the hell's going to happen with our poor boy Rudy. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I thought it was fire. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below. If for some reason you guys missed our reaction of this episode, click this one right here. That's the reaction for this week's episode. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 14 and the continuation of Jobless Reincarnation. Peace out, friends.